Hello and welcome to what is a strange week. We have now gone at least 10 days on the planet and there hasn't been a Premier League manager sacked, which is quite an achievement in the modern game. As soon as last week, I think we had two, potentially. Thomas Frank and the Wolves manager, I think. Or maybe not Forest. Not Forest.
Sean Dyche got sacked there.
That's what got me Wolves, because they then employed the Wolves manager who also got sacked not that long ago.
Well, it's the common thing in football, isn't it? What do you do when you sack a manager? You employ one that's already been sacked. It's the only, like I said, it's the only job in the world where you can be shit, get sacked, and just get the job at the next club, can't you?
And according to a friend of mine who's a Burnley fan, they're about to sack their manager, or they should be sacking their manager, they do believe. So,
yeah, yes. Because and who do they want then? Pep?
Maybe somebody who's Sean Dyche should probably go back. We've done that before.
It's just, oh man, I've totally lost. I mean, again, Tottenham are going to replace their manager with a guy. I mean, have you seen the record of the guy that they've employed?
Awful.
Oh my days!
Absolutely awful.
He's been sacked more than anyone on this planet. He's done more jobs than I do know. I mean, it just goes down. It's like Juventus sacked, somebody else sacked, 7th sacked, 6 months later sacked, 2 months there sacked. I mean, who's employed him? What has he done on his CV? They've gone, he's the man for us. Probably they've thought, well, I've got to sack him in June, so he's probably the best guy because the chance of him lasting longer than 4 months is 0.
You beat me to it. That
5-year deal.
That was the rationale I was going down. They know they're going to sack him, so pick somebody who's used to it. Just go with
somebody who tends to only last 3 to 4 months, and we'll just then when we do sack him, he'll be like, "Oh, no problem." I mean, like they said on another podcast the other day, isn't football managers the greatest job in the world? You tend to only going to do between 6 to 12 months' work and get paid somewhere between 2 and 5 years worth of money.
Yes.
I mean, why would you, like I said, people say, oh, who wants Tottenham job? Me. 6 months work for 5 years pay at that rate. Fucking give it me any day of the week.
I don't need to go to London. I'll quite happily not be there and still do it.
Yeah. Just sack me after 2 days. I mean, it's just unbelievable. When they talk about, oh, who's going to want Man United job? Fucking anyone, 10 million to pay you off. I'll have it.
I mean, I think from what I read, you sacking Ten Hag to hire Amorim to sack him cost you £50 million.
Well, we're done. And it's all gone to managers and staff. So when they say, who wants to be a football manager? Well, me. And 99% of the people on the planet would do, wouldn't they?
I mean, I'll even do it for half the rate that everybody else does. Because,
Yeah. I mean, don't even pay me. Don't pay me week to week. Just sack me and I'll just take the payoff at the end. Don't need to pay me a weekly wage. I'll just take whatever I've got left as a sacking. It's just mental. You'd be a football manager. Even if you hated football and the only sport you watched was horse racing, you'd be a football manager at the drop of a hat if they offered you to be, because it'd just be stupid not to be.
Of course,
it's the best paid job on the planet.
That's guaranteed payout, because when they sack you, they pay off your contract because it's a fixed term.
I know a friend of mine who I used to work with. A relation of his was married to a football manager, and he was currently at the time getting paid by 3 football clubs at the same time. I think it was Preston, Blackpool, and Leeds. They were all paying him weekly or monthly, however managers get paid, still paying him off from his salaries from all his jobs because they didn't pay him off when he left. He was getting 3 salaries and he was sat at home. I mean, name me another industry. Well, that's the thing. I've worked for Asda, I've worked for Morrison's, I've worked for Tesco's. They've all sacked me because I fucking ran them into the ground, and they're all paying me 200 grand a year as well.
To not be there.
It wouldn't happen, would it? It's only football where this is a thing, and it's mental.
Absolutely mental.
And of all these teams this season who've sacked the manager, which one's improved? None of them.
That's correct.
I mean, Tottenham are in this decline at the moment, aren't they? Where they get here and it's not good enough, so they sack the manager, so they finish here. That's not good enough, so they sack the manager and they finish here. So they sack the manager and they finish here. I mean, they finished 17th and they've sacked another manager now. Granted, he won them a trophy. Sorry, they finished 17th. They sacked him. They've now sacked another manager since. they can't afford to finish any worse because I don't know if they're aware. There's only 17th the last place you're allowed to finish before the shit really hits the fan. I mean, Tottenham go out of business if they go out of the Premier League. Let's just go there because they've got massive financial problems with the stadium and everything. If they're not in the Premier League, everything stops. The lights go off and Tottenham don't exist anymore. They're just done.
But let's just sack the manager again, that'll help.
Just tinker. I mean, it was quite funny because I think you watch it as well. I watched Gary Neville's podcast.
Yes.
And Ange Postecoglou was on. And
as it broke.
But I think he was on the second episode because they do 2 in a day. Yeah. And it was like, Thomas Frank's just been sacked. So we've got the ex-Tottenham manager in the back of the studio. And another manager, before we've had a chance to interview this guy about being sacked, has already been sacked. Does that not sink into anybody?
Nope.
You know, one of the biggest sports podcasts in the world is set to interview the previous Tottenham manager after he's been sacked and been away and had a few weeks to himself, while the next Tottenham manager has been sacked live on air. It's, I mean, even Gary Neville just must have sat there and gone, "This is just gold, isn't it?" You know. Just absolute gold. We've got nothing to talk about this week. We've managed to have the only guy in the room that can talk about Tottenham sacking you while Tottenham are sacking the next manager. It's just unbelievable. Isn't it? Unbelievable.
But you're getting to the point, though, now. I mean, it's probably quite easy to do because all you've got to do is point at a manager, and within a few weeks, the chances are you're going to be able to interview them because they will have been sacked because we're just...
It flip-flops so much, doesn't it? I mean, look at Chelsea. Chelsea sacked... I mean, they've sacked 1 billion managers. They brought Rossini in. Are Chelsea any better right now?
Well, no, they've just drawn with Burnley.
They drew with Burnley, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'm just watching a bit of it now. When was the last time Chelsea improved season on season? 5, 6, 7 years ago?
I can't tell you because that football
club... When was the last time Tottenham improved season on season? When was the last time Man United improved season on season? Look at the teams that do improve. City got a consistent manager. Arsenal got a consistent manager. You look at the likes of when they were doing well, like Brentford doing well, had a consistent manager. All right, he left to go to Tottenham and might as well come back now. But all the teams that had a consistent manager, year after year, once they got through that initial phase, started to improve.
Klopp at Liverpool.
Exactly. All the teams that keep changing the manager, you name me a team that you look at year after year and go, well, every time they swap the manager, they just improve. None of them.
Nobody.
So,
nobody at all.
Is it just me that sits here and thinks, I don't see another team that improves when they keep sacking the manager, yet they keep sacking him?
And it's quite funny yesterday. So I was talking to my mate who's the Burnley fan, and I eventually managed to convince him because he was very much sack Parker. It's not good enough. Nobody's running. Nobody's working. I went, hang on a minute here. I went, if the players are not running and not working, you have a problem with your players.
Yeah. Roy Keane said it the best. They said the players aren't playing for the manager. It's like, what the fuck they're going to play for the manager for? Play for yourself and your teammates.
Yes.
Play for your own pride. Play for if you go into battle every Saturday with 10 other players around you, play for them. Don't worry about a fucking manager. You don't have to like him. Play for yourself. You're a professional footballer. Do you go to work every day and think, I'm going to work hard today because my manager's amazing? Or do you think, you've got to work for your own pocket, to work for you? You don't go to work because you don't like or you do like your manager.
That was my exact point that I came up to him yesterday. So I, for a bit of inside knowledge, have a team of around 30 people. They may all hate me, but if they do bad at their job, it's not me that gets in trouble. It's them because they're the ones not performing. Pretty simple.
It doesn't make sense.
In any other walk of life, if the employee doesn't perform, the employee gets in trouble. In football, if the employees, which are the players, don't perform, the manager gets shot and sacked and sent off to Serbia.
It's the easy way out for a football club because, let's be honest, it costs you 10 million to sack a manager. It costs you 200 to change every player in your squad. But it's the precedent you set by sacking your manager.
Yes.
Because Jadon Sancho knows that if he just sits there for 6 months and does nothing, you'll pay him £250,000 a week to do nothing. And in 6 months' time, a new manager will come in and he'll send a tweet out saying, football's great again, we love training, we're all happy. And 3 weeks later, it'll be this manager's a dickhead and I don't like him, I don't want to play for him no more. And we'll go back to sitting on the bench for 6 weeks and getting paid. Right? And it doesn't take a miracle for people to understand that it's these same people all the time. You know,
it's kind of like...
certain footballers in football club you never hear from, do you?
Mm.
You never hear from them. You don't hear Luke Shaw going on Twitter saying my manager's a wanker. You don't hear Harry Maguire going on saying my manager's a wanker. You don't hear certain people going on. John Terry never used to go on and say, fucking this, fucking that. I don't like this. I don't like that. They just used to play football. Yes,
Yes.
the manager would get sacked, but they just go and play football, and the rest of it gets dealt with. Right? You've got Rashford, you've got Sancho, you've got all these people that go on social media and think that it's okay to go on and discuss the football club. Sack them. All of them. Romero, just sacked a lot. Honestly, remove the bad eggs, remove the problems.
Yep.
All of them. And I'm not intelligent, and even I've figured this out. Some of the smartest people in the world run football clubs, and yet they can't figure it out. Well,
do they? I mean, just slightly away from the Premier League, there is quite a large game happening today in South Yorkshire.
Oh, shit, yes, there is.
Steel City Derby. Sheffield United are about to relegate Sheffield Wednesday. Let's be honest, it's going to happen this afternoon. And
does it happen this afternoon if they win? If they lose?
Yeah.
It does. I've not seen the mathematics to it, so I didn't know.
I think it'll be a 41-point gap with 39 points available.
Because obviously 41-point gap.
They've been docked 700 million points, Sheffield Wednesday. They've only got, I think they've got -7 at this point.
So they wouldn't have got. How would you get 41? I mean, the teams even. Let's say they can't have got 41 points. The teams above them.
No, I think the teams above them have got 34, something like that.
Right.
But my concern is when you're talking about, intelligent people run football clubs, is this genuinely a possibility that it's the end of Sheffield Wednesday?
I think if the other guy was still there, yes.
The takeover is on the brink of collapse because there's a lot of money needs to be spent on the stadium because it's not up to scratch.
It's knackered.
They are going to be in League One. Let's be honest, that's now just a given. They are 41 points behind as we sit, and they can win 42. So they literally have to win every point available from now to the end of the season.
The other teams above them not win any.
Yes. And bear in mind, they've won one game all season with a -45 goal difference.
And they need to win 14 in a row.
This is Perth bad. This is what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, this is bad.
And my concern is that if they can't find the right buyer, they're going to be in League One, so they're still going to have the PSR nonsense where they can't spend more than £2.50 because they don't earn anything. How does this club recover? What is one of the, whether people like it or not, one of the biggest, most historic clubs in this country? Yes, they've had a barren 20, 30 years. But they could quite easily end up doing a bury and be gone. And we're going to go back to the National League with Sheffield Wednesday. And that, when you talk about intelligent people running football clubs, that kind of tells me there's a lot of not intelligent people running football clubs.
That's the problem, is who let, under all these regulations, the fit and proper persons, who let Chancery buy a football club? Because that man is just a clown in a suit. I mean, there's some of the things that I've heard he used to do and is changed at the club is ridiculous. They're not the things of a sane person. You don't go into a football club and do the things that he did if you are a football person and of sane mind. He's obviously
because he told the fans, if you don't like what I'm doing, don't come.
Well, exactly. And who says that? I mean, it's like I said, it's like being the manager of a supermarket and saying to customers, well, if you don't fucking like my stuff, just don't bother coming. Well, you haven't got a business. You haven't got a football club. If you haven't got any fans, what you've got is 11 people stood in the field on a Saturday afternoon with nothing to do.
Who haven't been paid.
Everything to do with football is to do with the fans. Keeping the club open is ticket sales, shirt sales, season ticket sales, merchandise sales, subscriptions online. Everything to do with the football club is fan-based. If you piss them off, all you have is a very old building and some grass, which is basically an old park, isn't it? So basically, that's what he's turned them into. And I think it is horrendous, and I've got a lot of friends who are Sheffield United fans who will be loving it, and I know they will be. But, let's be honest, if you're a football fan, to see a team go to the wall is ridiculous. And it's sad. It's tragically sad that if Sheffield Wednesday were to go to the wall. But who's let this idiot in? And whoever has should have to take some responsibility for this. There should be accountability to who let that moron buy a football club. Because within the first week, somebody should have said, yeah, he's not allowed to own a football club. Take this off him now, quickly. Because he's obviously, this Kim Jong-jun's fucking younger brother, I think, is an absolute fucking mentalist, isn't he? It's just, and that's the problem, isn't it? There's not the only one. And there's the guy who owned Cardiff who turned them from blue to red. Again, Straight away, I said, "Wait a minute here. What is this? Who's this geezer?" Because red's lucky in my country. Oh, Cardiff playing fucking blue. Why don't you buy a team that playing red? Then you moron. I'll buy a team that red's lucky in my country. I'll buy a team that playing blue. Oh, fucking fantastic idea.
Or here's a better idea: buy a team that playing red in your country if it's lucky in your country.
Yeah. Where people probably no fucker likes him in this country to buy one. I mean, I know it sounds like, but why did he want Cardiff? I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb. When somebody obviously mentioned Cardiff to him, he didn't have a fucking clue where Cardiff was. So why did he want Cardiff? He didn't want Cardiff because he wanted to do good for him. It's not like Simon Jordan when he bought Crystal Palace, and he was a massive Crystal Palace fan, and so was his dad, and he had genuine affiliation and wanted to do well for him. Why does some random guy from the Far East want to buy fucking Cardiff?
Well, we have a bigger one and a more recent one than that, which is a new trend in football. Hollywood people buying football clubs. I believe, people can correct me if I'm wrong, Snoop Dogg now owns part of Swansea.
Oh, does he? And he'll have been to Swansea a lot of times, won't he? Living in California, the first place you think of going is Swansea. I'll give him £1 million, of which I don't have 999,000 of it, if he can put a dart where Swansea is on a blank map. Even now, when even he owns it, he won't have a fucking clue. Like Tom Brady. Is Tom Brady not bought into Birmingham?
Yep, and then you've got the Deadpool owns Wrexham, because I can't think of his real name. Ryan Reynolds.
Why does Tom Brady, who's won more Super Bowls than I've had hot dinners, want to get involved in Birmingham?
I've got no idea.
It just doesn't make sense. And why do Birmingham people want him involved?
He didn't to start with. He got quite a backlash actually when he first turned up.
He shouldn't even be allowed to be involved. What can he bring to Birmingham other than some money, which you can't put into the club anyway because of PSR rules? So, of what use is he to Birmingham?
I suppose the only use he is he elevates the profile of the club, which could in turn generate money of sales.
That's the wrong thing to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need football people involved in football clubs. Somebody who owns Birmingham needs to be a lifelong Birmingham fan, or somebody from the local area who's got, done well in business, wants to buy into the local club. That's what you need running your club, because there's genuine feeling and genuine heart in it. Not some fucking yank from the other side of things who's got no idea anything about football or Birmingham. Why do you want these people? It just should be stopped straight away. I mean, that Man United have got American owners. I mean, they're not even allowed in the fucking stadium. They get shot. I mean, can you imagine owning a business and not being allowed through your own front door because your staff would kill you?
I mean, that is a fair point, actually. We've not heard from the Glazers in a long, long time.
They're in hiding because there's 75,000 Man United fans want to murder them every weekend. I mean, can you imagine going into work in the morning knowing that if any of the staff see you, they'd just kick 7 bells of shit at you? I mean, that's not a very great atmosphere to be running your business on, is it?
No, there's probably not in the company handbook of how to run the business.
Are you going into work today? Fucking hell, I'm not. 75,000 of these bastards are trying to get me. I'm stopping here in America. It just, it makes no sense at all, does it?
No. I mean, Barnsley are owned by some Chinese conglomerate, or I don't think they could even point out where Barnsley is either. So, but
No, but there's so many of them now, isn't it? And then people wonder why clubs are struggling. And it's because they've got people running them who don't give a flying fuck about them. It's all either a way of washing money or a way of making money or a way of making themselves look better. It's like all the Saudis buying football clubs and buying golf and stuff. Why are they getting involved in this stuff? What do they know about football? Nothing. I've seen football in their country. It's fucking rubbish. So why do they want to be buying football clubs over here? They don't know nothing about football. If they did, they'd have a decent league in their own country, wouldn't they? Put some money into that.
But before we go down the rabbit warren too far of this political nonsense of who's buying football clubs, I'm going to pose a question to you. Are Arsenal about to let the Premier League title slip through their grasp?
It would be the biggest fuck up in history for me. Because
hang on. Before you complete that sentence, we've just discussed all that ownership of football, and this is the biggest fuck up in history of football.
This would be the biggest fuck up. Because Liverpool are shit. City are bang average. I mean, they're playing well at the minute, but let's say over the last 18 months have been bang average. Man United aren't even in the same league as any of these teams. Chelsea are probably as bad as Man United right now. Newcastle are not a big enough club to challenge. Villa can't challenge. They just don't have the squad. So there's literally,
And we've been through what Tottenham are.
Tottenham are literally one step away from going out of existence. Yet, funnily, they play Arsenal today and could really fuck it up for them. It's like running the Grand National with one horse in it and it not winning.
It falling at the last.
Well, not even that. It just getting to the end and parking up and thinking, knackered. Just had enough. I'm going to stop here. 55 foot short at line. I can't see how they can't win it. But I did say to you 4 or 5 weeks ago on here, I kind of feel like they're not going to. But it's almost like it's almost impossible for them not to win it because everyone's literally handing it to them. But they keep just fucking it up. I mean, people talk about Spurs being very Spursy. Arsenal are very Arsenal-y, aren't they? They played against Wolves the other night. They were nice on the eye. They were quite, decent to watch.
They were 2-0 up as well.
Sorry?
They were 2-0 up as well.
They were 2-0 up. I mean, they were very nice on the eye. They were very polite. They were very after you, sir, me, sir. It's a nice goal, sir. One touch here, one touch there. We'll draw 2-2. And I'm like, Man United's Ferguson, Klopp's Liverpool, Pep's City at the hype. They don't lose that game. They don't draw that game. They go on and win that game 4-5-0. Wolves put to bed. A really good side, a Real Madrid in the pomp or a Barca in the pomp, don't drop points in them sort of games. And Arsenal just look too, I don't know, too soft at the core, just too, maybe a little bit arrogant, maybe a little bit like, we will win this title. And I want Arsenal to win. I don't want Arsenal to win, but I don't want City to win it because I fucking hate City. But it's like Arsenal failing would be absolutely laughable, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I've said for years Arsenal are the epitome of let's finish second. That's almost their target. And it's almost like they've even gone to the point now of gone from finishing first to thinking I'd rather finish second because that's just what we do. I just can't understand how they can lose it, but I also can't understand how they win it.
I mean, if they happen to lose today, a 2-point gap, 1 point gap.
I think it's 1 point, isn't it? I think it was 4.
Well, it was 9. It was approaching 9 at one point, not so long ago.
But they don't look like a team that are going to string together 7 or 8 wins, which I think they're going to need to do because I think City just turning it on a little bit, enough to put them under pressure. And Arsenal don't like a team that's capable of going and winning the next 5, 6, 7 games in a row. And when you look at Ferguson always used to say it, didn't he? Being it at Christmas, and then from January onwards, foot down, you go for it. And that's when United used to step on the gas, and you used to see them win 6, 7, 8 games. Pep's teams at the best will win 8, 9, 12 games in a row and just take it away from you because there's nothing you can do when they start doing that. You make one mistake and you drop points to him. Klopp did it in his good seasons. He just, Liverpool just stepped on the gas and went through the gears. Arsenal just seemed to be like plodding.
And they play Tottenham today, and I think it's Chelsea next after that. 2 big London derbies.
Shit teams, but again, do you see Arsenal just going out and putting them to the sword like a good side would? Tottenham wouldn't be a problem to a top team because they're not. I
actually think Arsenal will do better against Tottenham and Chelsea than they did against Wolves. I think if you go back to sort of Liverpool in the mid-2010s-ish, maybe late 2010s, they had a few seasons where they were beating everybody in the top 6 and then losing the league because they couldn't beat Hull. And I wonder if Arsenal are kind of bordering on that when they come to play Tottenham today, they'll be really up for it. Massive game. Chelsea next week. But then we'll play Burnley in 3 weeks' time, potentially, or whoever it is, and they'll lose 1-0 because it's Burnley and they're just not taking it seriously. I don't know. It just seems weird that they can't beat the teams that they should beat. Have you said that they did then lose to you recently, didn't they? Yes, they did.
Yeah, we gave them a good run around anyway. But is there any excuse for them not winning it?
No.
From a common sense?
Absolutely not.
It'd be laughable for us all, and we'd all have a great, couple of weeks laughing at Arteta and all the shit he comes out with. But on a serious note, I don't think there's any excuse for them not winning this now. There's no
valid. They do have one excuse for not winning this Premier League. 8 months ago, we both predicted that they would. So that's their excuse.
That's not good for them, is it? And the last time I predicted anything right, probably Mikel Arteta wasn't even alive. So
Because I don't know if we've been on since the Super Bowl happened, because that went well, didn't it?
yeah, I mean, I said that the Seahawks would win it by a few field goals and then a couple of touchdowns towards the end.
Yeah, of
Obviously.
course you did.
Yeah.
Absolutely didn't say you were a New
Wow.
England Patriot fan for the day.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to win it by a shirt, isn't it? Jesus Christ, I got annihilated, didn't it?
Yeah, it's not gone well for you. So your predictions don't go well.
No,
My
because I
predictions
don't predict things based on any knowledge. I pick things like based on weather or the time of the day or whether I fancy a beer or not. They're where my predictions come from. I don't look at stats and numbers and things like that.
My predictions don't go much better, so I'm not going to sit here taking the high ground in this. My predictions are usually just as bad, if not worse. So we both predicted Arsenal to win the Premier League, so they have a valid excuse.
Yeah, I mean, that is their only excuse as well, though. Two lads from Yorkshire that do a podcast that 10 people watch have predicted that we're going to win it. And now we've not. I mean, are they going to use that in their after dinner speech at the end of the season when they finish second?
There's a possibility they will, because bearing in mind last season, Arteta used an excuse that they lost a football match because the ball was too round. So blaming us is not that much of a stretch at this point.
Too much of a stretch, no. That's true. We could be up there. Maybe we get invited to explain his predictions.
In recent times, we've had, from various managers, it's been too windy, the grass was too long, the ball was too round. So blaming us, you've got it. You're in the sphere now of possibilities because everything else has been used.
One of the most sensible ones of all them.
Yeah. Well, blaming us is more plausible because we get everything wrong. The ball has always been round in football, so you can't really blame that.
There's always been wind in Sheffield or whatever they're fucking playing. So, yeah, no, maybe it is our fault after all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that. I can quite happily take the blame for it. It doesn't bother my life in the slightest. But yes, that may be his only viable excuse at this point, because I think every other team that should be close to them are terrible or below average at worst.
And listen, if they were playing against a good Klopp or a good Pep or I'm going back to a Ferguson, if they're not even close to winning this title because they can't compete, they'd have crumbled a while ago. If Pep's Man City from 2 years ago is going up against them today, they're well adrift of them because they just crumble. They wouldn't be able to hack the pace. So they'll just lucky at the minute that there's no one competing with them because I just don't think they're good enough.
And still on Arsenal, one of their biggest named players, I think also do believe is a fantastic player. But Saka this season, he's played 23 games, 5 goals, 4 assists. Is that a bit of a concern? That his kind of output is not.
It is when you think that they've got a £70 million striker who doesn't really score a lot of goals. And they've brought Eze in, who's not really had much of a chance, not really done a lot for them, but not had a lot of a chance. Martinelli's not that good. Jesus is not that good.
Trossard is not that good.
Player. The great squad players, aren't they? There's great players to have around to come on. Jesus to come off the bench, Trossard to come off the bench. I get that. You can't always have 25 of the world's best players. But the starting 11, your core front 3 or 4, Odegaard doesn't look that good this season. They've got to pull the numbers together. And when your striker's not scoring goals, you've got to, you 2 wide men need to be in double figures. And Saka's not going to get to double figures this season, even close by the looks of it. So, again, they've just not got that standout person, have they? You think of Erling Haaland, you think of, Liverpool when they used to have Torres or someone up front like that. United used to have Colin. Scoring your goals was just a guarantee to get you a certain amount of points. They just don't seem to have a guy that's going to score them 25 goals a season. Man, went out and bought Van Persie, didn't they? And yeah, not an amazing footballer, but just a great goal scorer. You knew he was going to get you 20 plus goals. Where's the Arsenal's man that does that for him? And again, I know they've been out and spent big on Gyökeres, but are they not giving him chances? Are they not playing right for him? They've bought a big striker and they kind of want to play tiki-taki football, which doesn't suit him. And who's the stats man that's going to get him the 25 goals a season that you need to win a Premier League?
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't think they've got one. And in the end, is that going to be their downfall? They bought Gyökeres thinking probably he would be that
Drogba, didn't they? When they were at the Pomp. And you knew 20 plus goals a season and probably double figures assists. You got Haaland now. They had who was the young Argentine? Aguero. Again, before he kicked off the first game of the season, he got you 20 to 25 Premier League goals already. You knew that. That was a guarantee. Where's Arsenal's guarantee of 25 goals? And it's not there. Even if you combine two people, I think you're going to struggle to get 25 goals out of them.
I think it's proven as well, you know, the theory that you're making. Salah this season hasn't been on it, and all of a sudden Liverpool are nowhere because he's been their goal machine for years and years
and
and
they brought
years.
in two goal machines. Oh, Ekitike is a young lad who's not ready to score 25 goals, and Isak, who should have been, isn't.
And has been injured for most of the season.
So again, if you want to compete at the top of the Premier League, you've got to have a guy that's got 25 goals and probably 10 assists, probably 8 assists, something like that, to be at the top of the Premier League. And sit at Liverpool, at fucking hell, Arsenal don't have it.
None of them do.
And that's it's got to be a concern for him, because coming into this bit now, this is when you need a guy that you just know is going to get you 6 to 8 goals between now and the end of the season. And I don't think they've got a guy.
No. And I think today's massive for them with how they dropped points against Wolves in the middle of the week. If they drop points to Tottenham today, it's going to get nervous at the Emirates.
Because everyone's jumping on the bandwagon, aren't they? You know.
Yes.
Paul Merson said the other week that there's just no way Arsenal lose it, and now he's starting to say, "Oh, people are jumping on the bottling it job bandwagon." I think, yeah, because you're starting to sweat now, mate, because you've said they won't lose it, and now we're literally one defeat away from this being a flip of a coin title race, aren't we?
And people are not jumping on a bandwagon. They were 7, 8 points clear, or whatever it was at one point. We'd said it from the start of the season they're the favourites. They should go on and win it. If they don't, it's not jumping on a bandwagon. Everybody have plotted out the way this season was going. It was all happening, and then it didn't. It's not jumping on a bandwagon.
They've got to win it. I just don't see how they win it. And especially City have now turned the corner and are turning it on, because they'll be relentless.
Yeah.
They'll just win and win and win and win. And Arsenal are just sweating every week. And especially when City play first as well and get 3 points against Newcastle yesterday. Suddenly Arsenal go into today knowing that nothing other than a win counts. It's different if you play first because you don't know what they're going to do. You've got a little bit less pressure. They know City have won. So you've got to win, haven't you? It's win or bust today and next weekend.
If they win, they get back to a 5-point lead and it looks more comfortable. But City will then have a game in hand again. Because obviously they've played the equal games at this point.
So it's a 2-point gap. If they don't win,
it's a 2-point gap right now. If they lose and City win the game in hand, City are back top of the Premier League.
Honestly, if City at any point go top between now and the end, it's over. City won't let it slip.
I mean, if Villa hadn't have messed up yesterday, they were getting close to starting to pressure Arsenal, because they're only 7 points behind now. They dropped 2 points yesterday, I believe, if I remember rightly.
Leeds, didn't they? Through 1-0.
Yeah, which is just a bad result for Villa, especially at home.
Villa are. Let's be honest, Villa are not in a title challenge, but Villa are doing extremely well. Don't let that be not. Villa, for who they are, what they spend, and what players they've got, Villa are far outstripping anything that they should be doing. If City get top at any point in the next, 10 weeks, it's over. City will just run away from it, because once they sniff that title, Pep will just run away. I can see City winning every game to the end of the season. I can't see Arsenal doing that.
No, I completely agree with you.
But that's only because City have done it time and time again, and that's what I'm saying about a championship winning side. When there's a chance of it, they just go and hammer it home and win it. And I think City's getting close now. Once they get ahead, get over.
But we've got 10 games to go, so probably 8 weeks minus the international break that's coming in next month. And we will see whether we are right or wrong in a prediction, which would be probably more breaking news if we were actually right. So, there we go. But moving on from the Premier League and football, I'm now going to say something that I never, ever thought I'd say. I think I hate Formula One.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a hard sport to like at the moment, isn't it?
It's a hard sport to understand, and I've been watching it for over 30 years.
Yeah, there's a lot of things happening that, I mean, I'm not a, what's the word when you just... Yes, I watch every race, I watch every qualifying and practice, but I don't swat up on all the things that are happening in the sport, and I don't understand the rules and regulations and what you can and can't do, and I don't remember who won the race in 1937. But even I'm watching it now and just thinking, I haven't got a fucking clue what's happening here. there's bits of car moving and not moving. There's people who've got a car, there's people who haven't got a car, there's people who can't design a car. There's a lot of cars breaking down, even though we've had 95,000 days of testing to make sure they didn't break down live on TV, and then they all broke down live on TV. And nobody really seems to understand how. I don't understand why we've changed from DRS, which is the rear wing opening, to something else where the rear wing opens, and we just called it something else. And you just go down the straight now and the rear wing opens. Well, we had that before. That's kind of not the big change. I don't know. I feel like I've been led down the garden path a little bit with this massive change, and it's still a car with 4 wheels and a wing that opens at back.
Literally Ferrari, and it does a 360 flip in the middle of the...
But everyone will write that off when you're not allowed that. And then Mercedes have got to change their engine, but they don't have to change it while August.
Yes.
I mean, can I just say, as a Formula One fan, the season starts in March. August is pretty far away. That's like saying you're fielding an eligible player in September, but you can play him till May. Well, yeah. I mean, in August, it's a little bit too far away, is it not? It's either not allowed today, or it isn't, or it is allowed. If it's going to start the season, surely it has to be allowed.
And as much as all those problems that you've just brought up, still none of them are my issue.
Well, I didn't think it would be.
I don't want to watch Formula One cars driving around a track and the winner being who saved up the most electricity to make his kettle go faster down the straight.
Oh, I don't understand it. Can you explain to me what's going on?
How many kilojoules of energy you've saved in a corner by doing it in first gear at 4 miles an hour? That's not what Formula One is.
I genuinely, and this is not just for the podcast, I do not understand it at all, right? Why do we set off on a fast lap, but we don't accelerate till we hit the line?
Because they're saving the battery. There isn't enough electricity to do a fast lap.
Don't tell me there's not enough electricity in a car with a petrol engine in it. What do you mean?
So, the battery in the Formula One car is a 4 kilojoule battery.
Is that bigger than my iPhone?
Yes. You can deploy 8.5 kilojoules per lap, up to a maximum of. You've got to be deploying and saving energy.
If I've got a 4 kilojoule battery, how do I deploy 8 kilojoules?
Because you've got to be saving up in the middle of the lap. Hence, everybody is now lifting and coasting and taking corners in first gear while revving the bollocks off the engine, because that kicks in the regeneration of the battery. And I've got no interest in watching a race.
It's an endurance race than an actual race against each other, isn't it?
Well, it's more of a race of how much do you understand electricity and the regeneration of it than it is racing a car. It's a science fair now. It's a project. I tried.
How we got here.
I gave these regulations a try, and I was in some of the groups. I was very.
I say you gave them a try. We've not even started the season yet.
Yeah, but I was very not. Everybody else has been down on this for a while, and I thought, no, I won't be so kind of aggressive on it. I'll watch it and I'll see and I'll look, and then by Wednesday of this week or last week, I think it was actually on the first Bahrain test, I was like, no, I'm not even getting any further with this, because Sky Sports, all they were talking about was battery charge and battery regeneration.
What confused me, and like I said, I'm not an avid rules. I don't understand what's changed, if I'm honest. I've seen a lot of things that I don't really understand, but it was the bit when he said he can't accelerate till he gets to, and I'm thinking, just being a normal person, whether you're doing anything, you want to hit the line at maximum velocity, because that's the time the timer starts. So I want to be as fast as I can when I get there, which is tends to be how Formula One's work, so that I'm running at maximum speed for as long as possible. They were talking about it like it was some genius idea that they were creeping up to the line and then flooring it at the line because they didn't have enough battery to finish the lap.
Yes.
Is that what they're saying? And I'm taking it that what they're losing in that first bit, they're gaining back by keeping battery on the end of the lap.
Yeah.
Right.
So the new theory is, so some of the fastest and best sections to watch in Formula One. So if you look at the S section at the start of the Japanese Suzuka circuit, that uphill, brilliant S section. The American S section down the hill at the start of that lap. Maggots and Beckett's at Silverstone. some of the best corners in Formula One are now going to be taken 60, 70 kilometers an hour slower and cruised round just to save electricity. What? Just anybody give me that as a rational concept.
But if I take them 70 kilometers faster than you and don't save electricity, are you telling me that you can gain that back at the end of the lap?
So if we use Maggots and Beckett's, for instance, as an example, so you'll go through that S section, then you come onto the hanger straight towards the end of the lap down towards Stowe. If you full throttled it through there, the chances are you will completely run out of battery before the end of that next straight, and basically you'll be driving a mini metro. So there's going to be a lot of overtakes in Formula One this season, pretty much guarantee it. But there won't be overtakes. It'll be my washing machine's got currently more power than your kettle, so I'll pass you. But then once my washing machine's done its spin cycle and your kettle's boiling, you'll pass me.
So we're going to spend a lot of time in the kitchen.
Might as well do, because I don't think
my biggest problem with Formula One over the last few years was a lot of fuel saving, a lot of tyre saving, a lot of engine mode saving. And what you want from Formula One, and this is just my opinion, is you want the best drivers in the world driving flat out for 57 laps at the peak of their power, absolutely driving to the limit for the entire time. What I don't want to see is someone driving 10 seconds a lap slower so they can save a bit of fuel because they didn't put enough in, or trying to save tyres so they can go 4 laps longer, which excites nobody. And now what I definitely don't want to see is someone, as you put it, charging the kettle on the straight so that they can run the toaster on the corners or whatever we're doing.
That's it.
It just, again, who sat there and gone, this seems like a great idea? Surely, I don't know, surely just give them a big enough battery so they can just drive flat out all the way around.
No, I've got a better idea. Stop putting batteries in Formula One. Just give it an engine.
Electric cars are shit. They're all shit.
And you know, my other really, really one, and it's been the terminology for a while, but it's really grating on me more. An engine is now called a power unit. It's not an engine. Call it an engine.
As I've said to you a million times on this show, and people just think I'm being a bit pedantic, right? The Formula One cars driving around the track are not the problem. 55,000 trucks turn up to the track every day in fucking diesel-driven trucks. And all these fuckers are flying planes left, right, and centre because they're going to every race. That's the problem. Stop doing that and put engines in the cars that can get around.
Yes.
So
in 2 weeks' time, 2 weeks today, actually, we will have run the Australian Grand Prix. You'll have probably seen it before I will. And for the first time in I don't know how many years, I don't think I will get up and watch it. That's how bad I feel about it right now.
Wow.
Because Australia has historically been a track that's bad for battery anyway. There's so much of it that's at full throttle. You've got very few hard braking zones. It's either going to be everybody literally cruising round to save electricity for the main straight, or it's going to be chaos because there's people going to be having battery, not having battery. There's going to be cars all over. And it's not Formula One. Does
your battery reset at the start of every lap?
The amount you can use resets at the start of every lap, yes. So you can use 8.5 kilojoules per lap. So once you get back to start line, that goes back to 0. But you've got to be constantly charging, monitoring what you've got. If you want to use boost to overtake somebody, then you're not going to have it for the next bit of the lap because you've boosted. So then you've passed somebody, but then your engine will cut out or something because you've no power left. And
it's like it's like live golf, isn't it? It's literally like they've tried to bring a little bit of fun into the sport, and what they've done is just made it wank.
And then we get on to the biggest problem. So we keep being told that F1 has gone down this route because the cars are they want the cars to have road relevance.
Sorry?
To charge up, they want the cars to have road relevance. So the electric units in them,
because obviously on my pickup truck, my rear wing opens when I'm going down freeway, and then when I brake, I can stop in about 4 seconds from 150 kilometers an hour. And when I put my foot down on my pickup, I can do about 300 kilometers an hour in about 3.5 seconds. Yeah, they're totally relevant. And I've got one seat, so when I take kids to school, I just have to stick them on back. Road relevance.
But then the last thing. So the race starts. You now have to spool up the turbo.
Well, even I tried to understand this, right? I tried my best to listen to. I can't think who it was explaining it, and he's a very intelligent man. If I'm on, he did a great. And I just sat there and went, "What? This just doesn't make sense. Run this by me again."
So as you get to the line, you need to put the car in neutral, pull in your clutch, rev the bollocks off the engine for 10 seconds. So you spool up your engine, so you're starting to regenerate electricity, and then it'll go. If I sat at a traffic lights in England in my road car, revving the arse off my engine before the traffic light, that police officer's going to arrest me, and the clutch of the engine's going to blow up. So what? How is that road
your
relevant?
Engine will be in tatters by the time you got to work. You need a new engine for every trip. But the bit I didn't get was they've changed the starting procedure. I think there's some blue lights involved now or something. But
yeah,
the guy at the front of the grid is going to be sat there a lot longer than the guy at the back of the grid. So they're putting blue lights so that the guys at the back can have 5 seconds or 8 seconds
up the engine. Yes.
So the guys at the front are going to be sat there for that fucking long. It probably be a different day by the time they start the race. I mean,
and their engine will have overspooled and blown up.
But the tyres are going to have gone cold.
Yes.
The brakes are going to have gone cold. So getting onto pole sounds like probably the worst place to be now, if I'm honest.
You probably want to be about 8th.
About 10th.
Yeah.
So, and then the blue lights go on for 5 seconds?
I think that's what it says. Yeah, so once the last car's lined up, the blue lights will come on. So everybody goes into then. I wonder if you can't spool the engine until the blue lights come on, potentially. So everybody's getting the same time to spool the engine. And then the lights will go out and nobody will move because somebody will press the wrong button or the engine will have cut out or the.
So then they get 5 seconds to all spool the turbos.
Yes.
And they were talking about who's got big turbos and who's got little turbos. Oh my God.
Ferrari have got a little turbo, theirs will spool better, which is why their starts are looking very good. Because Ferrari foresaw this was coming. They asked to change the regulations.
Extremely concerning that Ferrari have seen something
that everybody else didn't. So they said, let's change the regulations 12 months ago. They said, this is going to be an issue. Everybody went, no, you don't know what you're talking about. So Ferrari built a small turbo because they knew what was going to happen. Everybody's now seen the issue and gone, we need to change the start procedure. This doesn't work. And Ferrari went, veto, because they still have their veto that they only then get. And they went, no, we knew it was coming. We told you, you ignored us.
Well, I mean, that's actually the first thing Ferrari's ever done. That makes sense.
Yes, bearing in mind, they'll be great at the start, but then their rotaty flippy wing will fly off down the back of the track and Lewis will be in a hedge and Charles will be upside down.
I like ingenious things, but Formula 1 tends to ruin ingenious ideas by taking them off you. You know, the moving steering wheel and Mercedes and all these things. They'll just ban it. But it kind of has to move a long way before it's active again, doesn't it? This one goes all the way around and does 4 flips and lands back in. And I'm just thinking, I'm not sure that's gonna. When you hit the brakes, that's got to be in position because you need that stopping power. If I'm in a Ferrari, I'm not sure I trust that to be in the right spot when I need it to be. No. And I've seen what happens at Suzuka when a guy tries to take the first corner without his rear wing closed. I can't think who it was. And it hurt that. That was a big crash. Kind of knowing that I need it to close by doing 2 or 3 flips. I'm a little bit nervous about turn 1.
And it being built by Ferrari.
That's what I mean. If it were a Ferrari road car, I'd have a little bit more belief that it might happen. But a Ferrari Formula 1 car tends to be built by the guy who tried to buy Cardiff. It just kind of looks a little bit suspect to me that they've come up with this.
And then there's 2 other problems. So Aston Martin have now teamed up with Honda for their new partnership. The Honda, so I think you're allowed to, the electric part is allowed to create up to 350 kilowatts or store through something to do with 350 kilowatts. Theirs will do 240.
Which is less than 350.
They're missing a third of the engine.
Again, Honda. I mean, Honda should, these aren't new people to Formula 1 or new people to engines, are they?
No.
I just don't know why people keep mixing electricity in cars. Just leave cars with engines in them that run.
And Cadillac look very slow. So Cadillac are slow. Honda's engine is crap. Ferrari have got wings that might just fall off. Nobody else can start. Nobody's got enough electricity. The tyres probably won't
it sounds
last.
horrific, doesn't it? The mix of electricity and Formula One just sound. I mean, I've watched Formula E. And it's rubbish.
Yes,
it's like milk float racing with a helmet on. It's just not exciting at all. And we're basically getting to this point where we're not testing the limits of what a car can do, are we? We're sort of building cars with limitations and trying to get them to the end of the Grand Prix.
And you know what? The final nail in the coffin. We have Formula One drivers that are now trying to arrange private tests in Formula E cars because they think it's more relevant. And that at that point, I was like, I think I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with a lot of that Max Verstappen said, but he said something about it the other day, and I kind of thought, yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, mate. This is not
everything he said this winter. I've agreed with, genuinely.
Yeah, no, I do agree.
Everything he said.
He's come from a place of, this is not the sport that we want to be involved in, and this is not a sport that we enjoy, and this is not how it should be.
And then finally, I'll have done pulling apart Formula One. Apparently, we are going to have more sprint events because it's what the fans want.
Which ones?
I don't know.
Nobody asked me. I didn't get an email with a poll on it because I've said, no, I don't want them. They're rubbish.
I've not spoken to any Formula One fan that I know that likes sprints.
It's one of these typical polls, isn't it? We asked 100 people, all that work for you. Yeah. Do you want sprint races? And if you say no, you'll be out of a job. Well, I'll say yes then. It's one of those typical polls in it that you've never seen. Have you ever seen a poll from any of these things come through your door and ask you your opinion? I've been to Formula One races, so why didn't I get a vote? Nobody asked me when I got to Singapore if I'd like to see any more sprint races because I said, no, I fucking don't.
But, I mean, genuinely, we are 2 weeks away from the start of the Formula One season, and I have never been this despondent for the start of a Formula One season. It's usually the best.
Since you've been so hyped about Formula One, I've got one thing that I don't like about Formula One as well. Why can no one design a car that's got any nice colours on it and makes it look nice? Because they're all look like my 4-year-old son's designed them. Every one of them. They're all fucking horrible. I mean, Audi makes some of the nicest cars on the planet. Who designed their Formula One car? I mean, Jesus Christ, it is horrific.
I mean, there's one thing though.
This is our first race in Formula One. What we're going to put out there that really makes a statement. We'll just put some red bits on it, some black bits on it, some grey bits on it, and we'll just call that the car. It's fucking horrific.
I mean, at least the Aston Martin looks good. I mean, it's slow and won't move very often, but it looks very nice. I like the Aston Martin. It's very,
I mean, it's green. Let's be honest.
Don't like the Ferrari. Don't like that big white blob in the middle of it. No. I love the Red Bull. I think it looks gorgeous. Genuinely do love that car.
It's a nice balloon on it, yeah.
Williams just get in the bin. Just throw the whole car in the bin because it looks crap. It's just horrible.
And it's slow. And it only just turned up a day ago. McLaren it looks like a zebra crossing on a weird fucking setting on a camera.
I don't like the Merc. It's just put some go faster stripes down the side of it. I don't like it.
They're just all horribly designed.
Alpine haven't done anything for the last 2 years. It's just the same colour that it's always been.
Although they have claimed that they're going to win the title, have they not?
Yeah, they're going to at least win races. I do quite like the Cadillac design, I can't lie. It's okay, that one at least.
I haven't seen it.
But the FIA are going to ban it.
What, the colours?
Yes. Because one side's grey and one side's black, and the FIA rules state that the livery has to be uniformed all round, because apparently that matters. I've got no idea why that matters, but apparently it's a thing.
Sorry, so I can have a blue front end and a black back end, but I can't have a blue left side and a black right side?
Yes.
I mean, I'm at pains here to even think of a possibility why that could be a thing.
And I can't give you the answer because I don't know.
I'm actually speechless for once. It's not very often this happens, but I just don't understand that. So I don't know horizontally split my car, but I can't vertically split my car.
Yes.
There's got to be something, hasn't there?
I can't figure out what it is. I don't know.
No. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, I've got nothing there. Nothing at all. Just stumped me. Wow.
I don't think there's a better way to end than that. So I think based on that, the fact that we've run out of words and reasons for why Formula One exists at this point, I'm going to say thank you all for watching, listening, and basically having a laugh with us while we do this utter nonsense week in, week out. We should be back with you next weekend, a week away from the start of the saving championship. So until then, thank you very much, and we will speak to you all again very, very soon.